Alrighty, what's up, everybody? Jonathan here with Boston Collectors, and today is a very exciting day because I get to unbox the Obi-Wan Kenobi Deluxe version that I have been wanting for so long. Now, to preface this, my wife, she picked this up for me for Christmas. Not only this, she also went ahead and picked up this art print, which I'm super excited to get framed. If you have any like framing locations in the States that you all use, let me know, because Michael's, they're asking for $300 a frame, and that's just the lowest cost frame, and that sounds a bit ridiculous. So if you have any ideas on where to frame this stuff, let me know, because that's tough. Anyway, back to Obi-Wan Kenobi here. Now, this figure is completing quite a few companion pieces for me. I've got Count Dooku, I've got the Death Watch Mando, I've got Qui-Gon, I've got Cody, I've got both versions of Darth Maul, and of course, last but not least, certainly not least, the light side and dark side versions of Anakin Skywalker. Now, I am so happy. When I opened this for Christmas, I was shocked. We had a $300 spending cap. My wife went over it. I wish she would have told me. Like my gifts for her would have been a lot better, but she didn't tell me, and here we are. But that's neither here nor there. Obi-Wan Kenobi, MMS 478. We've got the deluxe version, Baby Luke Skywalker with the hologram figures and the light-up table. I can't wait to get into that. So the box is a lot bigger and a lot wider than we're usually used to. It's not as big as the DX-17 Darth Maul, though. So we've got that wraparound cigar wrap here with the figure, and of course the figure in the middle. We have the gunmetal gray here with the black down the middle. We have the engraved Star Wars logo there on the front. On the side, we also have the Obi-Wan Kenobi figure as well in another pose. And on the back side, we have the version number, we have the warnings, and where the product is from as well. Now, on the other side of the cigar wrap, we do have the Obi-Wan Kenobi name and the MMS number. And finally, back to the front. So, with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and get this guy open. Now, the art print isn't going to be as awesome as Dark Side Anakin's, but it is definitely really cool. I love when they have the vignettes going on here. So we have three different photo vignettes going on. Obviously, we have that really nice dark gradient on the bottom there. We have him holding baby Luke. This is where he looked into the hologram tapes. And we also have that iconic Obi-Wan Kenobi pose as well. Really nice art print. So let's go ahead and let's crack open that clamshell here. And here we go. So we only have two layers, believe it or not. We have the shell itself, and on top of the clamshell that came on top of that, we also have the hands, which we'll also get into a bit later. So before we start diving into this, shout out to Mike. I did not think he was going to come off of this figure. I am super shocked that he would. So my wife bought it off of her cousin, who is also a very avid collector, and I'm shocked that he would even pass this over. So thank you so much, and you took beautiful care of it. So shout out to you. Getting into it, let's just go straight to the figure, because that's really what we're here for. Now, I did open this box up previously because I had other plans for a video, and I decided against it because that would have taken quite some time for you all to see. So right away, look at that portrait. That portrait is phenomenal. Now, the hair color is wrong. I have to admit that. But when it comes to that portrait, oh my goodness. That is a phenomenal portrait. Now, if I had to give it on a scale out of 5, I will probably have to say that's a 4.5 out of 5. And it's only that low because the hair color isn't right. But that is literally it. Now, I know some of you probably see the magnets there. We'll get into that a little bit later in the video, I promise. Now, one other thing to note, I really absolutely love the way that everything is tucked away in the packaging here. Shout out to whoever designed the packaging. I think this is awesome. The only thing is, I just wish that this wasn't so awkward when pulling out the figure, but regardless, everything's set in really snug and very well. So let's go ahead and get into the video. You all know how this works. Let's jump into the accessories. So first things first, we got a pair of relaxed hands, beautifully sculpted, very well painted, relaxed hands. We also have more of like a thinking, gesturing sort of hand. You know, he always sort of grabbed his beard, and it's also used for the comm link that he comes with. So if you have Qui-Gon, you're familiar with this nifty device. We also have sort of a force pushing hand. That's probably how I'm going to use it. But later on, you'll also see that he can use these hands to sort of cradle baby Luke and hold him. And we all know what this is for. This is sort of his defensive stance, or more of his attacking stance. Or, you know, if you want to put up the peace sign, deuces. We also have a pair of saber wielding hands. Again, the veins, everything is beautifully sculpted, very well painted. I can't say too much else about this, but shout out to giving us a pair of them. Now, we also have that awesome saber, which honestly, I think this looks better than Anakin's. I don't know, something about the build of it and the polish. It looks beautiful, man. I like it. I mean, I would like to see die cast in the future, but that's just me. Anyway, we also have the ignited saber function here. I was originally going to use it, but I opted against it. Great to have. And we also have the dynamic sort of swooshing effect, if you will, for those of you who like to shoot, you know, your toy photography and whatnot. And as mentioned earlier, we have baby Luke, such a cute accessory. And this is where you would use the sort of open palm pair of hands if you would like to have Obi-Wan holding baby Luke. And next up, we also have that awesome hologram table. This thing, it's not heavy, believe it or not. It's got some nice weight to it, but it's not overly heavy. Now, one thing to note is you can actually put some, not all of the other holograms on this table. As long as it's hollow, it works. I want to say that there's a Darth Maul from the DX16 that actually works on here as well. I did not add it in, but you know, my bad. This does take AAA batteries, not doubles. For some reason, I assumed it would take doubles, but I went ahead and I wanted to throw in a clip of how that worked. It's fairly bright. I did not keep it on though for an extended period of time, but here you can see that the figurines on top of it light up pretty well. Not all the way to the top, but enough to get the vision across. And of course, we have the base. I like the base. I didn't take off the little plastic film on the front, but I'm probably not going to use it. This come with two sticker bases. So this one representing, I guess, the ship that they were on. And then we also have the, I guess, Utapau, I'd imagine. You all let me know what you think. And here we go with the stand. You know, we got the Crotch Cradler 9000 coming in hot. And last but certainly not least, we also have the droid components, you know, sort of sliced through. And I love the attention to detail with the saber cuts, and it looks phenomenal. It's kind of rubbery. There are harder components like in the midsection here on this droid, but the outer extremities are going to be somewhat rubbery. On the back of the droid's helmet, those are sort of flexible in a sense where it's rubbery, but the foundation of it is rather sturdy. And we also have, I was kind of hoping that I could take that blaster out of his hands, but I'm sure there's a way, but I don't want to destroy it in case there is. The arm is actually rubbery, but other than that, yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. And we also have the robe. Now, I actually consider this an accessory. I know it came equipped with Obi-Wan, but I personally consider it an accessory. We did not have wiring anywhere in this cloak, and that's unfortunate. So I went ahead and I used magnets. If you'd like to know about those magnets, let me know down below. It just helped make the robe appear a bit more lifelike, in my opinion. I don't like when the robe is flat or when the hood is flat. I want it to look nice. So hood on, it looks great. Hood off, it looks great. I'm posing him with his hood off. So let's jump into the next section. So jumping into the portrait here, honestly, there's only one major thing that I have an issue with when it comes to this portrait, and it's just the hair color. Other than that, when we look at the angles and the way that the light sort of hit Obi-Wan's face, this is Ewan McGregor. It looks just like him to me. I don't know if anybody else feel otherwise, but it looks like him to me. Outside of that hair color, any angle that you hit this figure with, you can shoot this figure from the bottom, from the side, top down. I mean, he's got the moles, the beard is looking really nice. This is him. There's one small issue when trying to sort of reflect lighting and bouncing light off of the portrait. And that's where the eyes sort of make him look as if he's blind, but I mean, maybe a deeper blue, but again, that's sort of taken away from the likeness, right? I have no issues with it. I really love the hair as well. I have no seam line in the top portion. The hair swoops look fantastic. We don't have any sharp edges similar to what we had to deal with Anakin. So portrait's right on top of the neck joint in the middle of the chest. I do wish they were sort of separate though, to sort of help with articulation and making him appear a bit more lifelike. But again, considering this is somewhat of an older figure, maybe they tried and it didn't work out, but who knows. Even in lower light though, I do want to point out, even in lower lighting, it doesn't matter if the lighting will make him appear a bit more sinister or, lighter. Any sort of lighting. I don't know. Let me know what you all think right here. Looking at these clips, it looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know. It could just be me. I'm not being biased. I mean, I am in love with this figure, but I have no problems pointing out the faults. I know this was a huge issue, I believe, at the time where collectors felt like they weren't given an actual screen representation of Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I disagree. Let's jump into the next section. Alrighty, so first things first, we do have Obi-Wan Kenobi's boots. We're going to go ahead and start from the bottom on up. I like the boots. I feel like they're a lot better than Anakin's, both light side and dark side. We don't have tread, but I like the soft goods where we're able to articulate the ankle a bit better. Now the pants are pretty straightforward, beige, tan, there's nothing really crazy going on there. Moving on up to the tunic though, we do have the front and back portion of it, the sort of the dangling bits there, if you will. We don't have wiring in that, unfortunately. However, underneath that portion, we do have wires there and in the lower portions of the sleeves. Now, that'll help for those of you who like to dynamically pose your figures. Moving on up to the belt though, we do have the extra Jedi bits, the bells and whistles, the pouches and all that good stuff. We do have a little bit of articulation there. They didn't go a little too crazy with it. We also have the saber holding portion, if you want your Jedi to look all gangsta, with the saber laying there, or not. It's up to you. I like mine holding the saber sometimes as well. Moving on up, in the shoulder region, we do have some bendable wire there. And on the back portion as well. So that whole shoulder region, if you like it, awesome, it's there for you. However, in the neck region, we don't have any wiring there. So regardless though, I do like that they added it because it adds a little bit of realism to the figure when we're posing. As we move on up, obviously we just talked about the portrait, but with the neck region, like I said before, I do wish that we sort of had a bit more articulation in the upper neck portion and the lower region in order for it to sort of articulate a bit better, because he looks a little stiff when he's looking up, right? It looks a bit uncomfortable. So if you like your figures looking up, it's a little unfortunate, but overall though, I do think the body is amazing. It articulates very, very well. Let's go ahead and jump into the next section. So, starting out the height section, we have Count Dooku towering over Obi. We have Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, Master Qui-Gon. And Darth Maul, relatively shorter than Obi, surprising. We also have Commander Cody standing next to him. I mean, the Death Watch were around, so there you go. And last but not least, we have Anakin Skywalker. Alrighty, so new section to the video. Let me know if y'all like it in the comment section down below. We'll definitely be tweaking it and making it better for next time. So on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm going to give this figure a 4. Now, yes, it might be slightly older. That's totally fine. That's not the issue. 1, the hair color is not screen accurate. 2, I do not like the robe. I felt like they could have added wiring to it, and they didn't. It just felt a little lazy. 3, the fists are kind of hidden with the saber-wielding hands, whereas with dark side and light side Anakin, they gave both saber-wielding hands and fists. So we're missing out on those fists, and it would have made it a bit better. Now, outside of that, though, I absolutely love this figure. My wife, again, got it for me for Christmas. I did not anticipate nor expect that, so having him in my DTOF behind me. For those of you who follow on TikTok, you already saw the Obi-Wan in my cabinet. With that said, though, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you all so much for watching. This is Jonathan with Boston Collectors. We're so close to 500 subs. Go ahead and hit the sub, hit the like, comment, and we'll catch you next time.